Hey. I always want to say, hey, you guys, but then I chicken out. But there it is. Welcome back to another episode of Good Intentions with Lisa-Tien. That is me. I'm really forcing myself to record an episode right now. It's Saturday, just got off of work. I haven't taken any time during this week to record an episode, so here we are. Procrastination on its finest. But, you know, not really. It just is what it is. Watching Baby Lisa vlogs from 2019 reminded me that I used to pop the fuck off with some lippy lips. So here we are with a red lip. Slay. I've been loving it. We're a little dewy right now. A little dewy, a little crusty, but we're here. We showed up with nothing to talk about. Nothing and everything at the same time. I'm trying to think. So this last weekend, my family, did a road trip to Houston because that's where my brother lives. And it was my nephew's birthday. My adorable nephew. I just want to love him and I just want him to love me. But, you know, he be brand new every time we visit or he visits. It's just he doesn't see us all the time. Like, really, ever. So, he's like, who are y'all? And why are y'all here in my home? You try to pick him up. He just doesn't want it. And I'm like, please, at some point, grow out of it. Because, like, I just want to love you. And I want you to be obsessed with me. Because I'm obsessed with me. Like, you should. You should be obsessed with me. Is that too much? It was fun, though. It was nice to see my dad. I cannot believe he was in Vietnam since, like, January or February. And he just came back. You know, it's April. So, he said he didn't have a good time because it was too hot. I was like, bro, who cares? It's Vietnam. I'm sure it was dope. My ear has been itching me all fucking day, so I'm gonna try to not scratch it and be annoying, get shit in my nails. But anyway, yes. So I had said, okay, well, let me just finish the Houston thing before I jump on to the next topic. Yes, it was so good to see my brother and my sister-in-law and, of course, my nephew. There were tons of people that showed up, a bunch of my brother's friends, my sister-in-law's family who live nearby. But yeah, it was a lot of people, all me and my cousins and their kids. And yeah, it was a lot of people to be. Well, the party was at like a jump trampoline place, but it was a lot of people to be in one apartment to like chill. And then the Airbnb was cool. Actually, that's a lie. The Airbnb was cool in a sense where there was a lot of space. There were plenty of rooms, plenty of beds for all of us to have a bed. The backyard was dope. There was a pool. Unfortunately, we were not there long enough to hang out at the pool, which sucked for the kids, you know, but it just is what it is. And it was a little cold, a little still too chilly. You know, we drove down there on Saturday. The party was Saturday, and then we drove back home Sunday. So there wasn't a lot of time to hang out at the Airbnb and the pool. The pool is probably the best part of the Airbnb. The Airbnb house itself gave me the ick. There was just a vibe about it that I didn't like. And it was so funny whenever we pulled up, which was, I think, nighttime. Yeah, because after the party, we went back to my brother's apartment and we just like hung out and drank and smoked there. And I was going to stay with my brother because I just, one, I didn't want to pay. And two, I would rather stay with my brother in the same vicinity as my nephew, you know. But he had like six or eight of his friends who were also going to stay at the apartment. And I was like, I'll just go to the Airbnb. I don't want to be selfish and take the only other room with the biggest bed, like, let me just leave. So when we pulled up to the Airbnb, one of my baby cousins said, "The house is creepy." And I was like, "Sister, I wish you didn't say that because I feel the same fucking way." Low key, I was a little scared. I was like, I don't want to sleep by myself. Because we were there first, me and my cousin Delina and the girls. And so we just like looked around and kind of just called dibs on the rooms or whatever. And I took the room downstairs. I think it was the master, actually. And I was like, not me, who originally didn't even want to be in the Airbnb, taking the biggest fucking room with the biggest bed. But I did. It just like, it's just one of those houses that, it's older, but they renovated it kind of. Like, the kitchen area was cool, but the furniture and the bathroom was cool because they redid it. But it just gave me the ick. Like, I'm like, are these sheets clean? Like, I was really weirded out, but at the same time I was kind of like fucked up a little bit because we had a couple shots and we smoked, and I was like, I think everyone else stayed up and continued to drink, but I was like, I'm done. Like, it's 11. I think it was 11. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Okay. I went out the night before, stayed up late, skipped the gym. Like, I don't need to stay up now. So I'm going to bed. And when I laid there, I was like, I brought shorts and a t-shirt. And then I brought my whatever, like sweat pant and crop top 2-piece set, whatever it's called. But I had like pants to wear the next day, and I wanted to wear those to sleep because I wanted the least amount of my skin to touch the bed. And I'm probably just being dramatic. I don't know. Like, it smelled clean. You can smell, well, actually, I don't know. You can smell a fragrance, so you would assume that it's been washed, right? But they could have just sprayed it with like Febreze or something. I don't know. I think I just went into the room. I like opened the curtain a little bit to close the window, and it's the window, so you see like the dead bugs kind of. There wasn't a lot, but that grossed me out. And then on the bed itself, there was like something on the pillow, like a crumb. I don't know what it was, but just seeing it just like grossed me out. The furniture was old, which isn't a big deal, but old furniture, old houses, old things just give me a really weird vibe because it's old. And I was like, just don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. I'm laying my head on the pillow. I'm like, just don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. And then I just fell asleep. It was probably that weed paranoia also as well. But it was fine. We were just there for one night. The next day was fine. I was like, I guess I'll take a shower, and they had like old loofahs. There was like a body scrubber and 2 loofahs that were old because it's already like pulled apart. It's been used. I'm like, who's using these loofahs? Ew, gross. Like, who's using these? Nasty. Anyway, that was an experience. I almost used my miles to get a hotel because I was like, I want my own space. I want peace and quiet. The last time we did a road trip to Midland, we again shared an Airbnb, but there wasn't enough beds because we had even more people that came that time. And I ended up sleeping. There was like a bed where it was pretty big, and that was like the kids' room. I ended up just sleeping in there. I was like, I'm going to sleep on this bed. Y'all can sleep on the bed as well, but I'm not sleeping on the couch. Actually, the kids should be sleeping on the couch because the grown-ups paid. But, whatever. That was the kids' room because there was also like a pull-out bed as well. So, yeah, the kids just wanted to sleep in there. I'm like, so am I. We ate a lot. I ate a lot, actually. It was good. The drive to Houston really isn't that bad. I think it's depending on the time where you end up in Houston, and then if you have to drive through Houston, like downtown, because my brother lives in like Webster, which is, I guess, a suburb. I don't know. But it's not Houston proper, and Houston proper gets a little congested. So, yeah, it was cool. Ate a lot. Went to this buffet after the party, Kim Soon or something like that. Was really good. Had a lot of food. And I had decided in my head that I'm not going to buy any more pre-rolls and I'm not going to buy any more edibles. I bought some extra pre-rolls and edibles so I would have them to take or smoke whatever before the show, the breakaway show. And so once that was over, I think I had timed it out to where I finished the pre-roll just in time. Like the show came, finished the pre-roll, done with that, but still had some leftover eddies, which I ate some, and now I'm out of them. And you know, that's great because I don't need to be inhaling all this food. Like it's been a lot, you know. And then even if I'm not hungry, it's just a habit. It's like, oh, I kind of have a craving for this. And it sounds really good. And you know what? I'm going to go get it because then I'm going to eat an edible or smoke. And then I'm going to eat this. Well, actually, smoking the pre-rolls, like I would just take a couple hits like on the way home. And actually, that would kind of just chill me out. Like it would kind of just mellow my thoughts out where I'm not really having like those cravings. But the edibles are a whole different situation. It's just like, oh, my body's numb. I'm high. I feel good. I want to feel more good. I'm going to DoorDash food, you know, and I'm also done with drinking for the rest of the month. I know we're only halfway through April. I just hate it. I don't hate it, but I hate it. I don't like what it does to my skin. It causes me to have inflammation, and inflammation for me is just like puffiness in my face and breaking out. And it's not necessarily, well, I was going to say it's not necessarily the food that I'm eating, but that is also very important because I think, I forget what week this was, but maybe it was after the breakaway show actually, where the next day I was like, I'm going to recover. I'm not doing shit. So when I'm not doing shit, I'm going to eat an edible and then I'm going to DoorDash lunch. And then I'm going to talk myself into DoorDashing dinner. And then, of course, I'm going to have like a dessert as well. And then I'll just be eating all of that, you know, and then I'll have leftovers because I'm not going to eat all of that. So then the next day I'm going to eat the leftovers and then, oh, well, what am I going to have for dinner now? And it's just like a never ending cycle. And it kind of feels nice. You know, Houston was also, you know, it's the last of these edibles. It's a vacation. I guess we're drinking. I guess we're smoking. I guess we're eating. And then when I came back, I just felt very like inflamed. I think there was also a week from the breakaway show to now where I got Taco Bell. And then I think 2 days in that week, I stopped at the gas station because I really wanted a hot dog. So I got a hot dog. And of course, I'm going to get some, you know, Flamin' Ruffles. So I got that. And the second time I went to the gas station, I did also just buy chips. And just eating the chips, just a bag of Flamin' Ruffles, right? 2 bags of Flamin' Ruffles and the Taco Bell the next day. Like I just start breaking out, and it's the oils, it's the chemicals, it's not giving. Like, unfortunately for me, and it's just me. I'm the only one in the whole entire family. I think my dad actually also. But we have very oily skin. I have oily skin. It's acne prone. But at the same time, I wonder if it's like my gut microbiome. I don't know if there's something in there, you know, mold or some shit. I don't know. But when I'm not drinking alcohol and when I'm not eating bullshit is when my skin is great. So let's just stay great. It's not the fear of gaining weight, you know, that makes me like chill out. It's like if I start to see my skin freaking out is when I'm like, okay, we need to stop. Which it should just be the discipline in general. Like, instead of having the consequences happening to stop doing what I'm doing. But here we are. Yeah. I hope this isn't going to be a boring episode. Also, my outfit is giving Top Gun. I don't really care to show it, but it's, you know, kind of like military-ish green. It's a romper, so it's some shorty shorts and a little belt. I'm not even like, I don't even feel like putting in the effort to move the mic to show you guys my outfit, but she cute. Yep, hanging out with the family was nice. That was lovely. I just restarted the Vampire Diaries. And what is funny to me is I did put it on and had zero interest. I was like, I don't really care to watch this right now. But I just put it on. I don't remember why. Maybe I was like doing something. Maybe I was putting on my like lashes or something. I don't know. But I remember like twice I put it on and I was like, I'm just not in the mood to watch this. But I also wasn't in the mood to find something new. So then I just like watched it. And now I'm like, I can't stop watching it. It's such a great fucking show. It's so good. It is. Who wrote this show? I can't even tell you. But I'm going to go through it pretty quick, and I'm going to watch the originals after. You know what? I didn't have a point or a story to tell of anything enlightening or whatever, but here we are. The Vampire Diaries. Watching The Vampire Diaries now, after going through what I did in my last relationship. And, you know, growing and maturing and not being this like naive girl that thinks, you know, we're going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't know what manipulation is, and we don't, you know, people, we know red flags, okay? We can recognize them. Watching The Vampire Diaries, how problematic is this show? Because it's kind of problematic, okay? It's a little toxic. First of all, Elena is in love with two brothers. That's toxic. How are you going to fall in love with a guy and then also fall in love with his brother? That's a little toxic, okay? Also, they're vampires. They kill people and they drink blood. That's toxic. That's sexy, but it's toxic. Okay. Also, they're 100 and something years old and she's a junior in high school. That's toxic. I don't know how old Stefan is. I don't know how old Damon is. Okay. But Damon is definitely a lot older than Elena. That is toxic. Toxic. Like, how old is he supposed to be in the show? 25, and she's 16, 17? That's crazy. When we go back to that time of our lives, right? I don't remember how old I was when the show came out. I had to have been in middle school or something, or high school maybe. When you rewatch any of the shows that came out during that time, because even One Tree Hill as well, where like these older guys in their 20s are dating or into or trying to hit on girls in high school, that is crazy that that was a thing. I know that's always been a thing in the olden times. You know, older guys prefer young girls because they're like ripe for whatever, giving birth or some shit. Like, that's nasty. Anyway, tangent. Yeah, toxic. And I'm on season 4 now. I forget exactly when this happened, where like Elena turned. But before she turned, okay, watching Jeremy and Matt, you know, the two humans, her brother and one of her ex-boyfriends, watching them like trying to wrap their head around the fact that Elena is with people that, oh, they're not people, they're vampires, that she's with monsters, right? They're trying to wrap their head around this. Like they don't want to deal with this anymore, and they don't want their sister and friend to like go, like they're literally begging her to stop being with them, or Matt tries to drive Elena out of town to get her to safety. Like, watching them pleading with her was a little triggering for me, because it's the same as someone, you know, a friend pleading with their friend who's in an abusive relationship to get out of it. But like, she doesn't realize, she doesn't see that it's toxic. You're in love with vampires. That's crazy. I mean, vampires are sexy. But yeah, toxic, right? Like, Damon, controlling, emotionally unavailable. Yes, he does have this amazing character growth and character arc or whatever. But that also, that is Damon and Elena. One of the reasons that girls like us, you know, growing up watching that show, going after, maybe not going after bad guys per se, but like being with someone who might be like falling in love with the potential, right? Because this show, this whole freaking show is like, Elena's good for Damon. Elena makes Damon a better person. So like, when you come across someone that's like Damon, who just, you know, he went through a lot, and he cares, but he doesn't want people to know that he cares, because he just doesn't know how to express his feelings, and he just is afraid to be vulnerable because it might be shown as weak, you know, like all of these excuses as to why this person is the way that he is. He's a villain, or started out to be a villain, doesn't care about other people, only get like, it's romanticized that he just wants Elena to be safe, and he only cares about protecting Elena, doesn't care if and whoever else is in the cross is, wow, what's the word that they use? I'm not gonna remember the word, but it's just, you know, in the crossfire, in the crosshairs or whatever. Right, but that's kind of toxic. Like, they make it seem like it's this romantic and amazing thing or whatever, but it's like, he has no empathy for anybody else, right? Like, he doesn't care if Matt dies, if this person dies, if that person gets hurt, as long as Elena's safe. And that's shown to be like, oh, he loves her, he cares about her, but it's toxic. And there's something about Stefan that I never really cared for. Maybe it's because he's, I don't know, I mean, I love Stefan, but at the same time, I don't. Like, is like kind of boring. Is he kind of boring? He's definitely has some toxic traits as well, you know, but so does Elena. I am so team Bonnie and team Caroline. I wish I would have appreciated them more in the beginning as I watched the show. But as I've rewatched it, I've learned to love Bonnie and Caroline. Caroline becoming a vampire was the best thing for her. It was, because she is no longer insecure. She is so like confident. She's such a good person. And she cares about people. She cares about her friends. Like, I love her. And I love Bonnie. Bonnie's a bad bitch witch. Anyway, that was a fucking tangent. But yes, like, growing up, watching shows like these, it just gives you hope, and it makes you like, you see this person, right, that you're attracted to, and they're attracted to you. And I don't want to use the word settle, but like, you choose this person because you think that you can change them. You think that you can fix them because Elena changed Damon. Like, no, sis, no. They better come correct. They better come correct, because we are not taking any more patients. We are not taking on any more projects like that. We should be doing our own healing, our own growth, and attracting people who are on the same wavelength as us. Not picking up. And I don't want to say that these people are beneath us by any means. Like, people who are self-aware, who are emotionally intelligent, like, we are not better than other people. We're not. I don't like to say that, and that's not how I feel, but it's just, we're elevated spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. Someone else who has their own issues, who isn't putting in the effort to grow or be better, they're not going to know. And they're not going to understand you or how to be better, how to grow, like how to be in a relationship with someone, because they haven't figured out themselves yet. So all of that, yeah, sure. Someone who is in the process of healing, you know, that is starting to put in the work. Maybe they went through some shit or just now processed childhood stuff, right? But they're like, they're waking up, they're becoming aware, they're like making the steps, they're in the process of changing. That's completely fine. That's great, because then you can like grow together. But someone who is like oblivious, where you think that, oh, if you just nurture them like they're your baby boy, or you just like take care of them, and if you just love them, that they're gonna see and they're gonna feel this appreciation that they've never felt before, and they're gonna be so thankful that you're there for them, and it's just gonna make them want to turn into like a better person. No, it doesn't work that way. I don't know the statistics of in which it does work out that way, but it's a waste of time, and they can bring you down. So I wouldn't do that. Elena, she be wildin'. And I'm going to say this. I don't care for Elena. I like to think I'm a girl's girl, you know. I do believe that. You know, I love Caroline. And I love Bonnie, but Elena, oh my God. The episode that I watched last night, I think this whole episode is just going to be me talking about the Vampire Diaries, to be honest. The episode I watched last night, okay, Elena already turned. I'm not going to do a whole recap of the Vampire Diaries, but I'm going to, as far as her love story with the Salvatore brothers. And I don't even remember what happened with Stefan, or Klaus is, you know, Klaus compelled Stefan. He turned his humanity off or whatever. So, like, now he's the bad guy, right? And since he's been gone, Damon swoops in. Elena starts to have feelings for Damon, but then she chooses Stefan, right? It's always going to be Stefan. Stefan eventually comes back and he's, working on himself and trying to be what he used to be and trying to control his blood urges or whatever. Okay, yes. So Elena turns and she chose Stefan. So she's going to be a vegetarian with Stefan. But it's not going well for her. She's not holding down that blood. Like, she's like throwing shit up. She has to have blood. She has to have human blood. Damon tried to feed her his blood, and I don't think it did anything. So Elena's so like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to drink human blood, and you're gonna die, okay? Whatever. Now there's also the 5, right? The vampire hunters or whatever in the midst. Matt lets Elena feed off of him so she can chill. Damon is realizing, like, yeah, she is gonna need human blood, number 1, and number 2, you can't completely nix yourself off of this. Like, she has to learn how to feed. That way she can have control, because Stefan has the same issue. He feels bad. He feels guilty. He doesn't want to feed on humans because he feels too much. But then, because he deprives himself so much, the urge overtakes him eventually. And then he becomes the Ripper, where he can't stop. And they don't want that to happen to Elena. So Damon decides he's going to teach her how to feed and, like, have fun and don't feel bad about it, right? Okay, so the episode that I watched last night, they went to the university outside of town with Bonnie. I forget exactly what they were on the search for, but they go to a frat party. And he teaches her how to feed and have fun. And she decides she's going to feed on, like, this douche guy that just roofied this girl, right? And it was fun. And now they're, like, dancing and feeding and compelling people, like, you're fine, or, this isn't going to hurt, and blah, blah, blah. And then Elena's dancing with Damon, right? She's having fun. And then she sees Bonnie looking at her like, what are you doing? And then she instantly feels guilt. She follows Bonnie out and she's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Blah, like, ugh. Just have fun. Oh my God. Like, that was so annoying I don't know why that was so annoying to watch her have a good time with Damon. And then because Bonnie saw her, now she feels judged or some shit. And now she's just crying about how she feels bad and she's becoming a person that she doesn't want to be, and this, that, or whatever. And Damon is telling her, you're not the same person anymore. You're a vampire. Own it. Live it. Like, have fun. Don't make yourself feel bad about it, because if you continue to make yourself feel bad about it and live in that guilt or whatever, because they're a vampire, you can turn your humanity off so that you don't feel. I was just about to say I'm ready for Elena to not be in the show. I feel like she doesn't have a character arc or growth at all. It's just like, I'm upset and I feel things and this, that, or whatever. Like, I think there was one scene where Stefan and Damon were in the car and they were talking about Elena, and one of them says something about, like, yeah, she's really special. And I just think to myself, what about her is special? Tell me. She's a beautiful girl. But what about her is special? That she cares about people? Other people care about people. Like, you know, whatever. Maybe I'm just a hater, but I don't think so because other people feel the same. I don't even know what to say anymore. Yeah. Great show. I'm actually kind of ready to be done with this episode of me talking so that I can eat my food and watch the Vampire Diaries. People ask me to, like, this week, like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, I'm going to binge watch the Vampire Diaries by myself. And I'm going to have a great time. Because it is going to be a great time. It's going to be so much fun. Like, the amount of episodes I'm about to watch this weekend and recover, because driving to Houston and driving back, I didn't drive back, bless, my dad drove. But just sitting in the car for that long, you know, and then the drinking and the smoking and recovering, I just feel tired. 2 times this week, I straight up slept through my alarm and I didn't go to the gym. So there's that. And, you know, it just is what it is. Like, this morning was one of them. I don't remember what time I went to bed last night. It was probably later than I should have. I think it was 11 or so. But I was sober. So good to know I can still sleep. That was something that I was kind of afraid of, is like if I smoke a lot or eat edibles often, then when I don't, I have a hard time going to sleep. But maybe that was just in my head because I fell asleep. And then I think another time, maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where I chose not to smoke or not to eat an edible and I went to sleep and that was fine. But I will be honest, yeah, like the last 2 months I've been high every day. Every day. After hours, after work. Never high at work. Never, never, never. I can't even walk. Like, I don't know how some people be doing it, you know, but it ain't me. Yeah, I feel like that's really all I have to say. I guess it's just a yapping video. It is actually kind of nice to be able to recognize like these red flags. I know I have like this fear of falling for the same BS, you know, like meeting someone and being attracted to them and all of that. But I don't know. I feel like I start to trust my intuition a little more and you can feel the vibes, right? And that cutie client should be coming in soon, and I will be prepared to ask him out. My clients be hyping me up. My client today, she just came in for a shampoo blow dry, and we had just come back to the chair from the shampoo bowl, and the front desk girl comes by and she was like, "So next Saturday, dressed really, really cute." And I was like, "What? What's going on next Saturday?" And she just looked at me like, and I was like, "Oh, I guess she had just booked that appointment or something." And I'm like, I love you for telling me, but I don't want to anticipate because then I'm going to be all up in my head about it. But anyway, my client was like, "What's next Saturday?" And I was like, "Oh, my crush is coming in for a haircut." And she just starts laughing. And I was like, and then we start talking about it. I was like, I said I was going to ask him out. This is the 3rd time I said this, you know, 3rd time's the charm. She was just like, you know, you absolutely should. She was like, it's rare that you regret something that you did. It's always more so regretting things that you didn't do. And I was like, oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with that, because that day when I was just freaking out in the break room the whole time because I was anticipating him coming because I was told that he was going to be there, and just overthinking everything and blah, blah, blah. he left and I didn't even say hi. I was hiding and chickening out, and I had so much regret when I went home that day. And then he came in another time and I did say hi, so at least there's that. But yes, I didn't ask him out. And now I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So she was hyping me out, and she was like, "Oh, is he cute?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, he's girl, he's so cute." And she's like, "If he's handsome, you're just as pretty, I bet." And blah blah blah. And I was just like, ooh. I mean, I don't know about all that, but thank you. And she was like, "No, you're gorgeous and this and blah." And I'm just like, "Thank you. That's what I needed to hear. I need to hear that all the time." So everyone, if you're listening and watching, please tell me how beautiful I am. I'm going to do it. So something I've been telling myself, and I'll end on this. This is a positive. This is something that you guys can also do. Something that I've been telling myself, right, is guaranteed he's never met anyone like me. In the best way. And I don't want to sound conceited, but I don't know, because I think I'm pretty original. But at the same time, I don't know, because everything that mostly everything that I am is just ADHD traits. So maybe I'm not as original as I think I am, but no, I am, because look at me. I think I'm funny as fuck. I'm cute. I work out. I'm passionate. I like things. I like people. I like to connect with people. I like to learn things about people. Like, I genuinely want to know who you are, what happened in your life, what your parents are like, what gives you joy, what moves you. Like, these are the things that I love to know about people. And I don't know if other people are like that, but he used to live in LA, and I don't know if a lot of them people in LA are like that. I know they're not like me. So that is something that I tell myself but that is true, because no one else is you. You are the only you in this universe. So, like, fucking love that, own that. You're special. And you're gonna be special to someone. Like, everyone has their cute little quirks, little things that they do, the way that their mouths move, the way that the light hits their eyes, the just little movements in your faces or in your voice, or things that you do, like with your hands or whatever, that are gonna be cute to someone, right? Someone who has a crush on you and develops feelings for you will see all of the things that you are and fall in love with all of those little things, and they're going to absolutely adore you for who you are and everything that you stand for. So, like, don't shit on yourself and don't sleep on yourself. And I'm literally talking to myself right now because I'm telling all of you guys this, but whenever it comes to the next time he's here, I may not feel the same way, but I'm going to try. And you know what? No, I'm not going to try. I am going to walk into work that day with just the utmost confidence in myself. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to shoot my shot. And he's going to say yes, and we're going to go out, and we're going to fall in love, and we're going to be together forever. So just kidding. But I am going to shoot my shot. And I'm not going to have fear of rejection We're going to manifest, okay? We are manifesting everything that is for us. So everything that happens is going to be for us. I'm going to be meditating twice a day this whole week so I can be prepared. I'm like going to be putting in that work, rewiring my brain, walking with confidence, embodying the confidence in my aura and letting it shine and sparkle and letting everybody see me. And that's that. All right. So, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you for listening. Bye.